Shalom, shalom, Israel. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to all the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts day in and day out. Shalom to you. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world, to the hopeful elect and all the sincere men and women who hearken into this 100% true gospel. Okay, today's video, I might call it this title here, but I might change it. So for now, I'll just say this video will be about people being blinded by the mirth of the world, or by the mirth of the earth, right? And even in this day and age where you're seeing all this chaos and misery and anguish all around us, oppression, fascism, racism, you name it, all these things are occurring right before our eyes, and people are in anguish going on social media every day, and still they don't hearken into the 100% true gospel. They still are not searching, right? Their spirit is trying to disguise the pain that they feel. Okay, these people are out here doing whatever it takes to lie to themselves or completely avoid of what is truly going on here on the world. All this chaos that's unfolding right before our eyes. Right? And some of them are going to the extent where they're going on social media, crying, begging for help, begging for answers. But yet they won't hearken into the men of the Lord, the men that are really bringing this 100% true gospel out, right? With no biases, right? They're not bringing this truth for any personal gain. Now, we do know and are aware that there are false prophets out there. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the true men that are not compromising for clout, for money, for fame, right? For any type of biases. Okay? Let's start here, 2 Corinthians 4:4. In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Okay? The God, Yahweh of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. And you see that. You see a lot of people, you see a lot of men and women alike that still don't believe not, that still don't hearken into this 100% true gospel. Right? And all they thinking about is the mirth of this world, of how they could somehow live a little peacefully by attending a party or by attending a group gathering of some sort. But deep inside, they're full of pain, right? Let's continue here. Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shai, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. Right? Unless the light of the glorious gospel, and this glorious gospel is this 100% true, unfiltered, right? Unbiased, raw, straight to the gut gospel that the men, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, have been bringing out for the last 50 years on the highways and byways, risking their lives every day to bring this 100% true gospel, this light to the world, starting with the nation of Yasharallah, to those blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indigenous of the America, those three subgroups that generation after generations have been oppressed like no other across the four winds of the world. starting with that nation. Of course, we do understand and know biblically that we have brothers across the four winds that were scattered by the curses for being disobedient. We have a scattering of brothers and sisters across the four winds, which we refer to them as the speckled bird. They're amongst those other nations that speak the tongues of those other nations, that look like those from those other nations, but their lineage goes back to a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indigenous, which go back to the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, making the 12 tribes of Yasharallah, right? That's what this gospel is about. Bringing this 100% truth to the nation of Yasharallah for salvation. And you see a lot of our people and people in general don't want to hearken into it, right? They're blinded. Like it says here in 2 Corinthians 4:4, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. And that goes to show you how Hashem Yahushai is not in any shape or form trying to save everyone. It's written throughout all scripture, in whom Yahweh of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Right? That's why they believe not. That's why they got the spirit of mirth, right? Of wanting to just have festivities and ignore all the true unrighteousness that's going on earth. Because the Lord himself, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, has blinded them, right? He has given them the spirit of slumber. We'll do it like this. Give me 1 second, Salakia, for that. Spirit of slumber. Oh, we got it right here in Romans 11. Salakia for that. I know there's one in, I believe it's 2 Kings or first, but I could be wrong. This is it right here. Romans 11:8. According as it is written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. There you go. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai himself has given these people the spirit of slumber, has blinded the minds of them, therefore making it impossible for them to believe and hearken into this 100% truth. Right? Let's go here to Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. That's exactly what a lot of these people do. You know, they'd rather go to the house of feasting, right? Because there they could, somehow forget and unwind, is what they say. But all it is blinding them, right? Let's go here to Ecclesiastes 7:4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, right? The true men and women who hearken into this 100% true gospel are going to seek the house of mourning. But the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. Constantly seeking the house of mirth. And you see that with the nation of Israelites. You see that a lot. They disregard, even at the worst state that they could be in, they somehow, some way, always trying clever ways to be in the house of mirth instead of the house of mourning. All right, let's go to that word real quick. Mirth. The house of mirth. To see the Hebrews transliteration is simcha.
Strong's H 8057. Simcha. Simcha.
Simcha. The house of mirth, joy, gladness. Right? Being rejoiceful for what? To be in this unrighteous world that they complain about all the time. You got to be a fool, as it is written here. Right? But the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. You got to be a fool, man. Blinding yourselves, lying to your own damn selves. And those are the same individuals, when shit hits the fan, are going to be bugged out. Because they've deceived nobody but themselves at the end of the day. When shit hits the fan, these people are going to go from the house of so-called mirth, which is only for moments. They consider drinking a bottle of alcohol every day mirth, only to wake up to feeling like shit or whatever other demons they got in their lives. Right? But the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. Okay? It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. Let's go here to, this is the one I wanted to get. In whom Yahweh of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Here we go. 2 Corinthians 4:2. But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully, but manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh. That is the manifestation of truth. Right there. But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, right? Have put away all this BS bullshit, made up crap. Not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of God deceitfully. And that is a huge one right there. All these anti-Christians and other people handling the word of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, deceitfully, man. They're going to be rebuked. They're going to be judged for that in a brutal fashion. But manifestation of the truth, right? And this is how you know the manifestation of truth has been occurring for the real men of the Lord, all the sincere men and women, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh, right? Commending ourselves. Let's go to that word, commending. See the transliteration of the word commending.
Strong's G 4921. Sunistemi. Sunistemi.
Sunistemi is the Greek transliteration. Sunistemi. To place together, to set one with another, to put together by the way of composition or combination, to show, prove, establish, to put together, unite parts into one whole, right? To put together by the way of composition or combining. Commending, to stand with, to place together, to set in the same place, to bring or band together, right? To put together by the way of composition, commending by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh. And we're gonna finish off with this one right here on 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Okay? If the gospel be hid, and we know it's not. Okay? The true men of the Lord have been bringing this 100% true gospel out for the last 50 plus years. Okay, getting the people ready. Because the true test is coming real soon. And a lot of people are going to have no clue what's going to hit them. Because they're constantly in the house of mirth, being blinded by the earthly things here of the world, by the silly distractions, movies and songs and sports. All distractions. Not saying that these things are completely sinful. There's brothers that watch, sports or movies, but they got their eyes and they're circumspect with the things around them that's going on in the world, right? They're not completely submerged into the earthly things of the world. Okay? They're not completely 100% sold on everything of the world. Okay? They are truly devoted to this 100% true gospel, as we all should, to be circumspect. So when things and tests will come harder than they've ever been here on earth, they'll be able to handle those tests, right? Because they haven't been in the house of mirth. They've been in the house of mourning, of preaching and teaching, and studying this 100% true gospel, and teaching others to do so as well. Okay? So I just wanted to touch base on that particular topic. The Spirit led me to do this video on that topic. Yahweh willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Before I go, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four winds of the world, to the hopeful elect and the 1/3 nation of Yasharallah, the sincere men and women who are hearkening to this 100% true gospel. Shalom, shalom.